Bookish Babes, and welcome to my book nook. Those that are new around here, my name's Rainy. I read all different types of books from fantasy to horror to sci-fi to romance, all the different genres. So please, if you're interested in that, please like and subscribe to my channel down below. You can also follow me on all social media platforms at rainybluereads. It really helps all my channels grow. In today's video, I thought it would be fun if I tried to predict what the top 20 and top 10 and even the #1 Goodreads Choice Awards are going to be for romance this year. Why? Because I want to read a lot of them, because I've realized I have not been doing as good of a job reading the top romance, and I want to read them and possibly do a video for that in December. And I thought it'd be fun to do. Now, I will say I was very inspired by Ashley's Little Library and also from Meg With Books, and also I watched one more today. I can't remember who else did it, but I've seen a couple of people coming out with this, and it's been very fun to watch all of these. And so I took bits and pieces from all of them into how they did it and went about doing it, and so I have my own little flair in way that I decided to figure it out. And I had a blast doing this, so I probably will start doing this every year. I don't know if I'll always do romance every year because I also read a lot of thriller and stuff, but this could be fun to see. So now I'm gonna head over to Canva on my computer so that you can see like the graphics that I made and how I figured it out and like how I categorized everything. And so let's head over to there. Okay, so this is my list of potential books that could be on the top 20 for the Goodreads romance category. I found these from a couple of different places, and so I will talk about all of the places that I found them about as I show you my stats and my data and my reasoning. And I also have not read very many of these, so if I'm actually going to read the top 10 or potentially top 20 of this category, I need to get a move on. And so over the next week or two before my readathon begins for Get a Clue, I'm going to read books that hopefully I think will make it to the top, and then that will also help me greatly reduce, because as of right now I've only read Happy Place and Astrid Parker Doesn't Fail, and that's not great. So it's okay, we're okay. We're gonna move on. Okay, so now that we have all of these different books, I believe I have 37 books on here, and some of these, like, it's very obvious, like, I mean, I already know which one's gonna win, but we'll talk about that at the end. But it's very obvious that some of these are definitely gonna make it. Some of these I'm quite questionable on, and so let's just get a move on talking about all of these books. The first thing that I wanted to look at when factoring all of this in was looking at the highest rating on Goodreads, because I feel like ratings on Goodreads are really important and critical when you're trying to figure that out for the Goodreads one, because typically the more people that have read it and the bit higher ranking of a book that it is, it'll make it. Now, I do want to say, in order for it to even be on here, it had to be a 3.5 and above in rating, and every single book was. I didn't have to take any off of the list automatically, so that's awesome. But as you can see, The Right Move is up there. And I will say that sequels always do better, because typically if you're still reading a series, it means you're pretty committed to it. And The Right Move has a 4.47 rating, which is really, really great. Whereas the lowest one on there, Do I Know You, has a 3.52 and almost did get taken off. So I'm not surprised by that. Out on a limb, honestly, I can already tell that I'm probably going to be taking that off in just a little bit, because I put that on there because I've been seeing it all over. However, I'm pretty sure it's indie published, and normally big indie published ones don't always make it. The 7 Year Slip honestly didn't surprise me. Final Offer, Yours Truly, The True Love Experiment. I was surprised that Happy Place wasn't higher up on the highest rated ones, but it's still pretty high up there. And then we go down to another one that, like, I feel will probably go away soon, which is Not So Lucky, or If Only You. I mean, Practice Makes Perfect was on there. I mean, I took a couple on there. Icebreaker, if you see that and you're wondering, technically that came out November 22nd of last year. And so it could be eligible for this year, and so I wanted to keep that in mind. Same thing for Kiss Her Once for Me, because that came out at the end of November, and everybody was raving about that in December of last year, so I thought that could work. But it doesn't really surprise me about these other ones. But the first thing that I wanted to look at was, how are the books rated? And then I also wanted to look and compare and contrast the largest number of ratings, because that is different. Because if you look, Happy Place is over there. Because while Happy Place's rating was only a 4.08, it has 520,000 ratings, as compared to Icebreaker, the next one, which has 407,000. And then even going on from there, we have Things We Hide in the Light, where we go to 226,000. And so it's literally half of what Happy Place has in regards to ratings. So I think that also plays a really big deal, because Emily Henry stans are obviously going to come out and like vote for her, and it just goes on from there. And so when you get to about, let's go halfway, The Love Wager only has 40,000. And so, like, it really drastically drops and gets under the 100,000s once we get to King of Pride, because it goes from 115,000 to 82,000. And then it just keeps on dropping from there. And I'm pretty sure Sorry Bro only has, like, 4,000 ratings or something like that. It's very interesting to see even the difference between like the highest rated books and the largest number of ratings. And so I definitely think that that puts things into play. And so I can already tell books that I'm definitely going to be putting in the top 20, 100% for sure. A couple of other things I wanted to look at that I gave books additional points for were things like, were they on that list that Goodreads came out with in about July? This is the Goodreads top of 2023 list, and these are the books that made it on there. Honestly, I'm not really surprised by any of these. Romantic comedy keeps sneaking its way into all of these categories, and I was not expecting that. Also, for any of these books that ends up getting on that are a sequel, I feel like I'm just going to read the first book in that series and call it good. Then I also wanted to look into who the past nominees were. So I took all of them from last year. And so Emily Henry, of course, Colleen Hoover was, and Colleen Hoover would definitely be in the top 20 this year if they had released a book this year. Allie Hazelwood, Carly Fortune, Lucy Score, Ashley Herring Blake was, Anna Huang, Lauren Asher, Tessa Bailey, Abby Jimenez, Katie Robert, which I didn't have her on here until I looked at past nominees, so I added her. Catherine Center, Elena Armas, Elissa Sussman. Julia Whalen was on last year, but she doesn't have a new book. Neither does Erin Sterling or Nisha Sharma or Mia Sosa, so I just X'd them out, but wanted to show you. And then I went to 2021 too, just to be sure. And the ones that I picked up along the way were Christina Lauren, Allison Cochran, and Rachel Lynn Solomon, because they all did have books that released, at least within this category or this window of time. I also looked to see were there any that made it as Book of the Month selections, and the only one that surprised me was Georgie All Along, because I had never heard of that book until recently, but the rest are pretty standard. And then Reese's Book Club only had one, and it was romantic comedy. And then the last thing that I looked up was I also looked at Amazon's Best of 2023 list, and once again, do you see a pattern? The same ones are popping up. I was surprised that The Neighbor Favor had made it up there, but pretty much all these other ones are like you're seeing over and over and over again, and so I was not very surprised in that. So if we go and we take all of these, all of the different things that I put together, and I gave them a score, I went off of their rating and the number of ratings that each book had, and then added points for if they were Book of the Month, if they were on that Goodreads or Amazon list and all that. And so this is the order in which they ended up. And if you see books paired together, it means they basically got the same exact score. So Final Offer and Things We Hide from the Light had the highest points, like altogether of like 67 or something like that. Yours Truly and Happy Place tied. The Right Move and Love Theoretically tied. And then as we go down and down and down the line, you see some books that are newer that didn't get as many. Now, this one did come out pretty early in the year, and I'm not surprised that Do I Know You is down low because it did not get very good reviews. It did not do nearly as well as The Roughest Draft. I was a little surprised at Will They or Won't They because I absolutely loved their other book that came out last year, How to Fake It in Hollywood. Once More with Feeling, I'm not surprised, is very down low. Cleat Cute, I was thinking was going to make it, but it came out so recently, it just doesn't have the reviews, quite honestly. Role Playing was a shocker. I had never even heard of that until I started looking up books for this, and it actually did pretty good, all things considered. I figured The Fiancé Farce would have been a little bit higher, but it is what it is. Forget Me Not by Julie Soto has been rocking it, but I just don't know if I see that actually making its way into the top categories. So we'll have to see on that. So now the last thing that we need to do is actually take all of these books, and I need to start whacking away until I get to at least 20. And so it's going to be a little bit tricky because I need to figure out, I don't know. I feel like I know some that definitely are going to be in the top 20. And so I think what I'm going to do is move the ones that I'm 100% sure are going to be in the top 20 first. And then all of the other ones, we're going to sit here and we're going to figure it out together. Okay? Okay. Because I feel like it's pretty obvious, some of them. Okay. So now you can see all of them right here easily to see. Okay. So let's just move everything. We want the top 20 down there, and then I wanted the top 10 up there. So we're just going to take all of these and we're going to make them a little bit smaller because we can do that. Oh, look at that. And then we're going to move that over, and then shoop shoop. Move the name. Okay, I separated them, finally. So let's do this. Which ones do I think are going to be in the top 20? Okay, Love Theoretically, 100%. Practice Makes Perfect, I'm not 100% sure on, so I'm going to go past that for now. I for some reason, feel like X's and O's is going to make its way up there. I want to put Icebreaker. I really just do. I know the True Love Experiment will. I'm not sure about Forget Me or Not yet. But I think Tessa Bailey will probably make it on there, but they won't make it past the top. Final Offer for sure will be on there. Meet Me at the Lake, even though it was not very good, probably will be on there. The Right Move has scored so well. I just don't know if people are going to put it up there, but I'm going to put it up there for now. Catherine Center might possibly make it. I feel like this is not going to even be remembered, so I'm not going to put it there. Katie Roberts could, but she has a lot of people she's competing against. Okay, obviously Happy Place. Obviously yours truly. How many did that give me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. The 7-Year Slip, I think, could maybe. I also think, okay, Things We Hide from the Light is obviously going to. Romantic Comedy is going to. This one is actually supposed to be Astrid Kelly, and so I'm going to fix that really quick. I originally had it as Iris Kelly, but then I realized that Astrid Parker Doesn't Fall came out in November of last year, and it has more readership, so I think that that would make it on, and that definitely would make it. So I need 3 more. I think King of Pride is going to make it on there, so now I need 2 more, and now we have to think about this. I think role-playing is going to go away, obviously, so I'm going to get rid of that. I think Cleat Cute is not going to make it. Sorry Bro is not going to make it. Do I Know You is not going to make it. I don't think If Only You will, because it's like number 6 in a series. I don't think Out on a Limb will, or Not So Lucky. I don't think The Fiancé Farce will, or Georgie. Honestly, I don't see this making it. Or this. The Nanny will not. The Cold World will not. Now it's between all of these ones. And because she's been a past nominee, I'm tempted to put Elena Armas in there just because I think that that could actually be really good. And so I need 1 more from here. And I'm really tempted. I don't think Once More with Feeling is going to make it. And I don't think Will There, Won't They is. Honestly, I feel like it's between The Love Wager, The Neighbor Favor, and Business and Pleasure. And so if I'm looking back on the slide right before this, it should be The Love Wager. And I feel like that's what I want to go with. I feel like that's what my gut is telling me. So now let's actually stack these all so that, like, I can feel better about my life and how they are. But I'm pretty sure these are the 20 that I'm going to go with. Okay, let's see. All right, I think these are our top 20. I think they're good contenders. I'm excited to see if they win. And so we're going to go with this for our top 20 selections. Now from here, we need to decide which ones are going to be moving up to the top 10. And a couple of them are very easy. Happy Place will make it up there. Let's see. Things We Hide from the Light will make it up there. Love Theoretically for sure. Honestly, I feel like Icebreaker will. I'm just saying. But then it gets tricky, right? Because Romantic Comedy, honestly, will... Actually, no. I don't know if it's going to make it to the top 10. That is where it gets tricky. Because, for example, I feel like Meet Me at the Lake could, even though it's not that great of a book. And I feel like I want the 7-Year Slip to make it up there, but I don't think it's going to. And then you have to keep in mind that part of your world didn't make it to the top 10 last year. And so it's like, should I put that up here this year? I don't know. I know Final Offer will make it because Terms and Conditions made it last year. Honestly, I don't see Hello Stranger making it. I do see True Love Experiment making it, but this is where we go off, right? So I don't think that Forget Me Not is going to make it past this. And I don't think that... this is where it gets tricky. I don't think The Love Wager is going to make it. I feel like Anna Huang could probably make it to the top 10. But this is just so tricky. I mean, all things considered, I got to look back at that one other slide that I made. And it's just tricky because the 7-Year Slip was up there. Practice Makes Perfect was up there. X's and O's, I feel like it would get eliminated probably in the top 20s, and so would the Catherine Center. And the Tessa Bailey, she made it to the top 20 last year, but she is not a top 10 contender, especially with like a sequel, because that book did better than Secretly Yours. I don't think Romantic Comedy will make it. So then the question is, I feel like if I don't put the Abby Jimenez, I'm just going to be mad at myself. But I just don't know, fam. I just don't know. But I can only put 1 more off of this list. This is where it kills me. This is where it's really killing me. Because Astrid Parker could make it on there, but I don't think it is as popular as Delilah Green. And I don't think The Long Game is as popular as the other ones. Honestly... The Right Move is not going to make it as much as I want it to be up there. I don't think it's going to make it. So now we're just really stuck between these last 4. But am I so 100% sure that Icebreaker is going to make it on there? No, I'm not. Because honestly, people might have forgotten about it. That's the thing. But no, it's so popular. It's still popular. I choose to believe that it's going to be on there. I don't think Practice Makes Perfect is going to make it because the When in Rome one didn't. So I'm going to take that one off. I'm going to take the 7-Year Slip off because the Dead Romantics didn't make it last time, even though I feel like that rated really high for me. And so now I have to go between Astrid Parker Doesn't Fail and The Long Game. And it's either, oh, those both were on there, but you know what? I feel like Astrid Parker is a beloved sequel, and so I'm going to go with that. Do I feel good about this top 10? Yes, I do. Honestly, I do. And then, if we were even to go as far as the top, now, which one do I think is the top one of all time? That is extremely easy, and that is Miss Happy Place. Happy Place is going to win. Why? Because the year before Book Lovers won. And the year before that, People We Met on Vacation won. And I'm pretty sure the year before that, maybe Beach Read did. I'm not 100% sure. But she's won 2 years in a row. Honestly, she has another book coming out. It's not even fair, honestly. She's going to win. And then, honestly, it'll probably be these two next. Things We Hide from the Light and Love, theoretically. I do know the third book came out, but it came out so recently, I feel like this one has had time to have more traction. And so that's where I think it's going to be. So those are my top 20 and my top 10 that I think is going to be it for the romance category. And that is my prediction for the 2023 Goodreads romance category. Do you agree with my selections? Are there ones that you think I should have put on top instead? I'm very excited when I get to finally film a reaction video to what the top 20 are and then the top 10 and the number 1. So like that's going to be coming out after this all ends, wraps up. So like in December-ish, but I'm very excited to see if I was right or wrong. I feel like I did a pretty good job. I'm not going to lie. So if you liked this video, please, and if you finished all the way and got through to the end, then put like a little trophy or medal emoji down at the end and we can talk about which books we think are going to be in the romance category for 2023. And if there's any that you think I should prioritize now, because there's some that I'm going to start reading right now because I know they're going to be on the top and so I want to make sure I've read them. All right, guys, with that, I will see you guys in my next video.